What's the deal with airplane food?
Where am I?
Oh, silly Sam. We're on the boat to heaven, or the boat of heaven. I actually don't really know, but we're on heaven. Heaven. This is where Jebster is. That is why we are here. Wow. Here he is. Here's
Oh my god.
Here's Jebster. Look at him. What are you doing? Oh wait, no, we know what you're doing in heaven. You got hit by a truck or something. What was the canonical reason why he died?
I'm not even.
No, I don't think he died. He just
Got sent
wait.
to
Did
heaven.
he die?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was just.
No, you
Why
got
was I
hit.
in heaven?
You got hit by a truck.
I thought I had like
I
fucking
know
measles
someone.
or something.
Someone got hit by a truck. Welcome to kitkast episode. Hello, everybody.
The audio just like it broke
Yeah.
down. Hello everyone, I'm back. Apparently, I don't know what the bit at the start was, but apparently these two have gone insane since I've been away, and I'm the only thing holding this together in terms of like well-being and sanity. I think it's okay.
For the record,
to-
last podcast
to
episode was probably one of the best
assume-
ones we filmed. Okay, that one was really good.
And yeah, but it's not. These bits are not normal.
These bits are they're
It's not okay.
what's the term?
So I'm back just to keep an eye on things.
Heath returned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back. Hey, hi. Hi, guys. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello.
Jebstacks is back. We found him in heaven. That is the canonical reason why this
Yeah,
has
apparently that's...
happened.
Apparently we have lore now.
We have kitkast
Do you
lore.
think the lore is going to bring people in?
So the lore originally was something to do with the Christian God, and I guess it still has to do with the Christian God, but something about God killing both of them. Then he wanted to keep you, but then we found you. I don't know. Yeah, you don't understand the genius behind
I
what
don't-
I'm doing right now.
I don't, yeah, I don't understand
You don't understand.
any of it, really.
I'm just chill
No.
like that. I'm just chill like that. I gotta. Hold up. I have complaints about the Quest 2. I want to talk
Oh.
about the Quest 2 because I have
Okay, go on.
annoyances
yeah.
with the Quest 2.
And I'll see if I can fix it for you.
No, I can. Okay. Actually, I would like your input. See if you can fix it, but I doubt because you haven't used the cable yet. For some reason, and this is some genius engineering on Mark Zuckerberg's front. The charger for it out
Yeah, it's
uses
not,
battery.
It's very loose.
It out uses battery faster than it charges. So you can't just use it indefinitely when it's plugged in.
Okay, here's your fix is that you so all the comments online are going to be like, don't do this, it'll explode on your it'll explode and catch fire. So do you have one of those Apple iPad chargers?
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
does it use
the
USB-C?
Use that. I use that, and it's like it's only like 0.1 whatever the unit of measurement for whatever it is higher, but it charges
So I'm supposed to use that and
faster
Steam
than
Link.
it uses battery. Okay, never. Yeah, I mean, I would use. I've literally, I barely ever notice any latency with Steam Link at all. I think the only times I've noticed like a little bit is when I join a world. Sometimes it'll freeze for like a second while it's connecting, but only for like a second. I would heavily recommend using a 5 gigahertz network with Steam Link. And I mean, most networks are 5 gigahertz. I'm pretty sure you. have
I actually
it's better if it's Ethernet, but better if it's Ethernet.
I don't want to use Steam
well,
Link because
obviously.
from what I've seen from you, it doesn't seem like Steam Link works very well with OBS.
No. Okay, it's not a Steam Link problem. That's a my like OBS. That's a me computer problem. Which I tend to have a lot of for some reason. It's not an issue with Steam Link. I've gotten it to work with Steam Link like many times before. It's just sometimes my computer craps out on itself.
Okay.
Also, I don't think I've updated OBS, and I'm pretty sure I need to update it.
Yeah, I keep going like it
Like,
reminds
I
me
haven't
later.
Yeah, but it never reminds you, so you never do it. Also, I can't be bothered.
Yeah, I'm still losing
Why
charge.
can't you just update automatically?
This is so sad.
Yeah, so use an iPad charger and use
I
Steam
mean,
Link. Or if Steam Link... Okay, for some people, either one is better. So for me, I was using Virtual Desktop for a while, and then someone was like, oh, you should just use Steam Link, it's way faster. And I started using it, it was way faster. But then for someone like Vixel, he used Virtual Desktop, and then he used Steam Link, and he said Steam Link was so bad for him. So I don't know. Play around with
What's
that.
he using virtual desktop
And
for?
also,
Vixel is a friend of the cast,
Virtual Desk?
kind of. He's a friend of the.
he virtual desktop is for connecting your headset to the computer.
Yeah.
It's like Steam Link, but it costs money and it has a few more features.
Yeah,
It costs like $20.
I used it for a little bit. I think I refunded it though because it
Yeah.
wasn't very good.
No, I used it to start off because Vixel was like, yes, yeah, it's way better. And then like like months later, someone in VR was like, yeah, I'm just he had like full body tracking. He had like the Quest 2, and he was like, yeah, I just use Steam Link. I was like, you use Steam Link with full body tracking and your headset? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll try that. And I downloaded it. It was so much better.
Yeah, damn. So yeah, I'll look around. I also, and this one, I already know the fix for this. It's buy a head thing, but the head strap sucks balls, dude. Oh my lord.
The head strap is not okay. You kind of have to like, you know, when people say it's an acquired taste.
Yeah. It's...
The head strap is a little bit of that. Okay, there is a really good head strap. I'll get Vixel to send it to you, if you want. It's this it's an aftermarket thing. He has it. It has like batteries in it and stuff. It's amazing. And it's like fully cushioned and everything. It's a bit bulky, but it's comfortable. And as long as you're not like sleeping in it,
I think my main
issue.
issue is that I'm coming from the Rift 2, so I'm like this is supposed to be an upgrade for me, and it feels way worse than the Rift 2. And I get that this is supposed to be the portable one. This is supposed to be the one that's like better for that type of shit. But like the difference in quality for how just it feels on your head is crazy, considering this is supposed to be an upgrade.
I don't notice it because you know this is like my first personal VR headset, but I'm sure there are better options out there. Yeah. What do you use, Sam?
I use the Vive Cosmos, the first one. I got it like a week after it came
That's
out.
right. Is it still, and it's still going strong?
Yeah, I mean,
Do you have any issues with
personally,
it?
I've not had any issues with it. The only like maybe downside is, I mean, they've definitely fixed it or like improved on it a lot more from when it was released, but the tracking does sometimes get lost when I go behind my face or my head, because it's obviously because it uses inside out tracking. But
it's inside out.
Yeah.
It's that old and it has inside out.
Yeah, it's from
tracking?
2019, so I've had it for
That's good.
ages. I honestly don't think I would like. I don't really see any reason for me to get a new headset. Like unless this one breaks somehow, then I'll probably just stick with this one. I think I might also get the wireless adapter maybe, but it is like $250. I don't know if I really want to do that because I mean the wire I haven't really had any issues with, but you know having it wireless could be, you know, a bonus anyway.
Having it wireless is like if you're gonna have it wireless, you want at least like 2 hours of wireless use, like available to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I do. So I just don't know if it's really worth the trade-off.
A mate of mine's got a Pico 4, and I mean like it's got its own like it's got face tracking and stuff.
Yeah.
And apparently it's pretty good. Not like amazing, but like
yeah, I mean,
it works.
Yeah, it's still
and
good.
it has face tracking. Yeah. So I don't know. No. Oh yeah, I'm saving up for because I'm doing work this holidays. I'm doing work for 2 weeks. I'm gonna try and get myself like a what's it called? Vive 3.0 trackers.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna try and get myself some trackers. Yeah, with some base stations and stuff, and I think that'll be really fun.
I have the old base stations, you know, like the first ones. If you want them.
Yeah, but those are for like
they're the square ones that like
2.0.
I don't think they're the 2.0
because I know they haven't updated the base stations in quite a while. Like just the trackers, really.
Yeah, they were fine when I was using them, but I mean, is there any specific like new feature you're looking for, or are they just supposed to be trackers?
No. I just want them to be trackers. There's like I think you get 3. I think you get one for like your leg, one for your hip, and then one for your arm or something like that.
Because
And then it just works based on
I got
that.
2 base stations if you want them.
Okay, I'll have a look because I know that you have to like buy them separately, and it's like you kind of pick what you want. But that'll definitely save me a lot of money if I can get if like those work. Can you tell me exactly what they are like? So I can do some research.
They've always just been base stations to me, so I'll just quickly search up base station and see if they.
No. I mean, like, oh yeah. I mean, if you can match the image to the product, but
never mind.
But like, if there's anything on the background, like, if there's anything like on the back, you know, it says what they are. Just link that to me.
I mean, it was for what for VR headset was it for? It was for the Valve one where they have the controllers which are like fucking terrible, like the big long.
Oh, the ones
sticks.
that look like TV remotes.
Yeah, the fucking TV remote ones. It's the one that came with that one when I bought that. I now have 3 VR headsets just like in my house that technically work.
You should sell one of them, at least.
I was thinking of selling the Rift, but the Rift 2, the one I just gave up, but it's so the other one of the controllers is broken, so I can't really sell it because who's going to buy a headset without a controller unless they're. I guess like, there is a market for that, but it feels like you just buy like a Quest, bro. Like I don't know. And so then I've got my Rift 2, which I was thinking of selling, but it is broken. So I mean, I don't want to go through the hassle of having to sell it. How
broken?
It's got like it's the reason why I switched over, because like I don't know, 15 minutes after plugging it in, it'll disconnect itself and stop working. Oh, which is not great. So
is it the one with the base stations?
No, that one's inside out tracking. The other one's the one with the base station.
Oh, the other one that we were talking about.
The broken controller.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay. Wait, so you said what's the one with the base stations you said?
I guess it would be the Vive 1 or something. I don't know, like the original Vive. There'll be like a funny name for it, like the space Vive. Or the what's up with these?
Like the HTC?
What? Yeah, it's just HTC.
Oh, yeah.
Is it HTC?
Does it have the headphones?
Okay.
I don't think it had headphones.
Okay, so yeah, it's just the regular HTC thing, because the HTC like Vive Pro or whatever has the headphones as well.
So you've got the base station 1.0. Yeah. So let me see. Do 3.0 trackers work with 1.0 base stations? No, I love predictive search. Yeah, they do. They will. I'll see how well they work.
Yeah, it doesn't even like
probably because they're just
have
stations.
them like anyway. Like it's not like it's gonna hurt to try. I'm not
like. Do you have to have them like hung up in a corner or something?
That's how I don't think you have to. I mean, you do have to put them somewhere, right? Like that's with all base stations, though. Right.
Yeah, I mean, like the Miz has his on his bookshelf at the moment, so he doesn't actually have it like nailed to the roof like he normally does.
Oh, he just has it like on his bookshelf.
Yeah, he just has it on his bookshelf.
And they have to be like across the room.
He stands on his bed as well.
Do they have to be like across the room from each other?
Yeah, I think they have to be opposite corners.
Because I could definitely put one like how quick are they to set up? Like, can you just sort of like put them somewhere and then?
I bought these like wall mounts that have screw things on them that you can screw them onto, which you can have as well. And in terms of
probably won't use those.
All right, I'll just give you
they're wired. They are wired as well, right? Like what? You do have to have like a
yeah. They're really the thing I don't like about them is they're really annoying to like have in your daily life. Like so, first of all, you have to plug them in. Like they're not USB. They're like plugs, and they hum and they have a light on them, which is why I couldn't put them in my room. So at all times, you're gonna just hear a very soft hum and there's a light coming from them.
So you have to plug them in, but are they wireless connecting to the computer?
Yeah, they're wireless connecting to the computer.
Okay, that's fine then. Yeah, because I have plenty of plugs around my room. I was thinking I'd put how long is the plug? I can get an extension because I'm thinking I could just put one in my wardrobe, which is right in front of me, and whenever I need, I just open the doors and there it is. And then temporarily, whenever I'm using it, just put one like right here, and that would be directly across from each other.
So yeah, they
I'll find a way.
They're just way less convenient than inside out tracking. They just kind of suck.
Yeah, I mean, but we're talking about like
Yeah, full body tracking.
full body tracking. Yeah, there's basically no other way to do it.
So I'll deliver those to you at
Right
some
now,
point.
at least. Apart from, yeah, okay. Apart from IMU tracking, that's kind of not inside out.
Is it
but,
fucking the phone, duct taping phones to your body? Chat?
Well, that's one way you can do it. That's one way you can do it. That worked terribly though because iPhone IMUs are terrible. They're hard. But like the company that actually makes like VR ready IMU based trackers, Slime VR, they're just like little pods that you strap onto your body with like Velcro, and it works.
It works. Yeah.
It works. It just works, and they're really good. There's like zero drift, and if there is any drift, you just stand in like an A pose and then tap the middle tracker, and it resets the yaw.
Bro, IRL fucking.
So. Genuinely, because that's how it like calibrates everything. Because the way IMUs work is they don't know where they are. They just know that they are somewhere, and they take their start estimation position, and then wherever they move, that's like where they're moving. So they don't know where they are to begin with. So you have to set up where they are. You have to like tell them where
because they're just
and
allocating their space as relative to their starting point.
Yeah.
Just how they figure out where they are.
And well, they're relative to I think it's to the headset. They're relative to the headset and then each other. So what you do is you set up their starting positions, and anytime they drift, you just stand in the position that you set them, then reset them, and then they should be exactly where you want them to be.
Yeah, I've been thinking about getting full body tracking at some point, but I don't think I'd get enough out of it to justify the cost because I wouldn't really use them that often.
Yeah,
it seems that VR chat's really the only game where you can get much out of it.
That's true. Well, not real.
I'm sure there's a couple other social games
honest,
similar to VR chat, but in general, just sort of this vibe is the only place.
Resonate is honestly, I don't think it's going to overtake VR chat, but it's definitely becoming a contender.
I mean, have you seen the things that VR chat's been doing, like in terms of their company? They laid off a whole bunch of their staff.
No. Why?
Because
for what reason?
Money. They were like, we need to make more money.
I guess so.
Or I mean, it's not like malicious. It's I half malicious. It's more like they do need money, but also it was less like we need money, and it was more like we could be making way more money, and we are overstaffed. But I don't think they were.
Oh well, I guess
I don't know if they're really being honest when they said they were being overstaffed. I think they were. It doesn't seem like there's any issues with VR chat so far because of that, but I think the ramifications for something like that are going to come later.
And well, if they said they were overstaffed, then are they a private limited or?
I'm pretty sure they're a public company. I'm not sure though. I don't know all the details. All I know is that they had a massive layoff recently.
Well, they wouldn't be public sector. I mean, they're based in the US, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
They absolutely would not be public sector at all, and they have no reason to be public sector either. They're not doing anything remotely, like public, well, remotely community wise or government organized. They're a private company.
Yeah,
they're probably a PLC. Probably.
I think something could overtake VR chat because I think VR chat has very much been relying on the fact that it's the only and it's the most well-known thing for this niche, but I think it'll be quite easy to overtake.
Rec Room was never gonna be.
Rec Room's a different thing. The fact they can coexist is proof that they're not the same for the same people.
But Resonate, I don't think Resonite's gonna. Have you seen Resonite?
I watched a tutorial on how to port like avatars over to
avatars. Yeah, that looks a little clunky. The fact that you have to do it in VR is kind of weird.
Yeah, that one I was like, are they trying to streamline this to make it easier for the general person?
Probably.
Yeah,
probably. But the thing with Resonite is like, I don't think it's ever gonna. I think it's gonna be the same sort of situation with Rec Room, a little bit different, where the VR chat and Resonite are gonna be able to coexist, but in a weird way, because VR chat is mainly like, it's just like purely social. there's not a lot to do,
Yeah.
you know? And there's so much content already in it that people are probably going to stay here. But Resonite is very interested in like creating, I don't want to use the metaverse, but its own sort of world, and the opportunity for people to make stuff within it is so much more than it is in VR chat.
Yeah.
In terms of like practicality, like activities and games and stuff.
That's
But I don't. But because of that,
that's what I think is missing in VR chat the most. Is right now there's literally like there's nothing to do. There's prison
Nothing to
escape.
do.
There is fucking murder, and then there is like a couple other miscellaneous. Like I guess you could cut the Among Us game, but people don't even play the Among Us game. It's either kids or people who are just socializing in the general area, which happens in all games anyway. They just socialize in the general area, and then whenever the game starts, they just do whatever. So it's like I think that's definitely something that's missing a lot in VR, because a lot of people like to write off social stuff as kind of like, you should be socializing, you should be talking, but there is still an aspect which has to do with like playing games in VR while still being able to socialize in the same way. And that is something that's missing big. But and also I just generally like,
then again, we are missing the fact, we are completely ignoring the fact that the game is called VR chat.
We are, but I'm saying there's a gap in the market. They do take up the chat area, but I think Resonite's going to take up the same. I think you make a good point in the sense that because they're taking over the market in that area, it's going to leave VR chat alone, because this is mostly for people who just want to talk. Considering the Black Cat is the most popular place in the whole game, I think Resonite's probably going to be a completely different thing. So I think the question is though, is there going to be enough people who want to go over to Resonite rather than being in VR chat?
Well, that's the thing. Like it's kind of an interesting topic, because the thing with Resonite is that, okay, you think you're a VR chat player, right? And you have whatever, how many millions of hours. And you've got all your, you've made an avatar, or you've got a bunch of avatars that you like using, and you've got a world that you like to go to and stuff. That's not in Resonite. And it probably will never be unless you make it in Resonite. And can you be bothered?
You have to sort of
Is there
reset.
anything else that you want? Yeah. Is there anything else you want from Resonite? Sure, there's like a few things, but is it enough that you're willing to go through all that effort to bring everything
I think
over?
what one thing VR chat's
work?
missing, which I think people would really like, is physics. I think people would...
Yes.
If Resonite has physics between players and between the world, I think that's going to be a deal breaker. Because right now, literally, like,
I think
just put my hands through the fucking my water bottle. I just hit my water bottle.
I think in fairness, a lot of like the sort of like gaps that are in VR chat are more like, yes, there are limitations because of the engine, and like I'm not too sure how VR chat can solve that. But also you're saying like there's like only like murder. Dude, these fish are just like not in the tank. But like there's like murder, mystery, like the Among Us games. But like that's all community made. Like VR chat isn't going out and making these game modes and stuff.
Well, Resonite is also very much community made. Like Resonite doesn't. It's just another platform.
To me, it sort of seems like, I'm not too sure how accurate of a analogy this is, but to me it sort of feels like Apple versus like Android, where Apple has been like around for so long that everything is so easy and like integrated with all other Apple products. And so if you want to switch over to Android, or in this case VR chat, to Resonite, you do have to port a whole bunch of stuff over and go through all this effort. And it's debatable whether or not it'll actually like surpass, I guess, VR chat. I mean, even if it doesn't, or if it has like better features and stuff, like that's still up in the air. Yeah.
I think if VR chat is going to contend with Resonite in the future, in the very near future even, there's a few things they absolutely have to do though. Is like, okay, you don't necessarily have to change the way the game works or the way everything works within like what people use it for, but VR chat is so terribly optimized, it's not even funny. They need to work on that, and I get that a lot of that is because like, it's user created, but there's also some stuff that VR chat could do to help with that. There's a lot of like quality of life stuff and just like mechanical stuff that doesn't work very well.
I think they need to provide more tools to the player base to actually make worlds specifically for
Yeah.
VR chat. Because at the moment it's just, hey, launch Unity and make something and then just port it in. I don't. Is the VRC thing like add-on or plugin whatever like official? I don't actually know.
The creator companion?
Yeah,
Is it?
official.
Okay, so
Yeah, the creator
so they
companion's
need to expand on that and actually give more tools to make better worlds for the game.
Which is
Absolutely.
ideally what Resonate is going to do, I think.
Yeah.
Also, Resonate just looks better.
Yeah.
Like this kind of looks
Resonate does look
like
a lot better.
the way
I haven't tried it out yet.
it's like Source 1 to Source 2, honestly. Like you can very clearly see the seams in the operation when you look around a world like this. Even though this world is quite pretty, the like visual effects in the bloom is kind of horrendous. I'm not gonna lie.
What engine?
Do you guys want to after this? I don't know. Just like real quick, do you guys like? I'm actually kind of interested now. Do you guys have anything you have to do after we finish filming?
I have
Not
to
really, no.
edit the podcast, obviously, which if we finish in 30 minutes, so we finish at 15 past. So if that takes a little bit, I'm assuming you're going to say let's download Resonate and play it for a little bit.
Yeah, and try it. Yeah,
I could play for like an hour.
Okay, yeah. Sam, you down for that?
Yeah.
I mean, we just get it all set up.
That's fine.
Yeah. Cool, yeah. We can tell you what we think.
Next podcast.
Next podcast. Yeah.
Is it just on Steam?
I don't is it? I think it's its own thing. Hold on.
Oh, so it's
Let's all have a look.
Township
I
Tale or
can't
something.
actually access the store. I can't access the store because I'm on Steam Link. That's one thing about Steam Link. You can't access the Steam store, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I like the
When will you ever have
cable,
to do that, really?
because ideally, if it charged properly, then it would literally just be like using a Rift. But woe is me, I guess.
I told you it was a scam.
Woe.
Told you the link cable was.
I didn't buy the Meta one though. I bought a fucking third-party one.
Okay, maybe that's your.
No. I have looked online though. People
That's the problem.
agree that even when they're using the normal one, it doesn't work. Like it outcharges it.
Right.
So, or not outcharges it, outuses it. Outuses the battery.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think, I think Resonate's got a good chance. I think Resonate has a good chance, but the problem, as we've all discussed, as well as the fact that I don't think VR chat players are looking for another alternative. I don't think they really want that, from what I've seen.
No, and I've talked to a lot of people, and I've said, like I brought up Resonate, and they were like,
it is on
like
Steam.
it looks. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's
Well, that
listed,
makes
it's listed
that
as early
easy.
access.
Early access. Do we have to like request it?
No, you can just
something.
download it and play for free.
Okay, cool. I hope it stays free as well. The only way it's ever going to contend with VR chat is if it stays free.
Well, yeah, it has to be free. That's not even like a question.
Yeah.
Like if it's not free, it loses.
Yeah,
that's how this works.
Because VR chat is
free.
I'm actually really surprised how like VR chat is free. That's still kind of crazy.
I'm surprised. I'm more surprised at the lack of internal monetization that they have going on, like Roblox.
Okay, yeah, but Roblox's
internal
monetization is like.
It's like a middle ground.
horrendous.
I'm not saying they should be exactly like Roblox, where fucking you
they
walk
should,
anywhere in the map and
obviously no
immediately 10
company should be
pop-ups appear.
taking 75% of the fucking profits that their users make.
Dude, that's crazy.
I'm just surprised that like skin or no, like avatar makers, for instance, don't have avatar worlds where they're paywalled, which is a good thing in my opinion. I think that would like make sense, and not like super expensive. Just like here are all of the avatars that I've made, and you can pay money for them if you'd like.
Well, the thing about that is that like
that's done on Gumroad.
That like half exists already, because there's like. Well, okay, so I've got 2 points. First of all, there are like worlds that are like, join the Discord or you subscribe to my Patreon to get like the passcode to a certain area. But also people will take that model and then re-upload it anyways into like the avatar search.
What I'm trying to say,
No.
What I'm trying to say is no matter what, everything that's monetized on this platform is third party. It's go to this website and buy it. It's do this and buy it. Nothing is integrated into VR chat itself, which is undeniably would boost the profits by heaps. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
But if we're talking about avatars, if we're talking about avatars specifically, let's say yes, there was a world where it was like, okay, you have to pay to come and see these avatars, and if you do pay, well, then you can pay, you can take these, you can use these avatars. One, people are not going to sell that through VR chat at all. They're going to set up a world, and it's going to be free, completely free. It's going to be, here's all my avatars, here's the link to my Gumroad. Because two, people don't want those avatars. They want them so that they can take them and then make them their own, and, like retexture them. There's I don't think anyone would take like the base red. I'm sure there are some out there, but I don't think that people would take like the base Rexoium and then just use it as their avatar without making at least some modification. You know? Because I don't know, it's kind of like make it your own sort of thing.
I'm thinking like, I think it would make it easier to market it as well. Like you walk into a world and you can see the model there in 3D. And like
people already do that for marketing.
They do for like videos and stuff. And I guess you could request to see the model in actual VR. But I think it's ease of access, which is important. And also you ask like not your average VR chat player, but like your less than knowledgeable VR chat player, you ask them where would you go to get a custom model? They wouldn't know what to say.
To get a custom
or
model,
just to buy a model, or like get another model.
Gumroad.
I don't think they would know what Gumroad is.
Gumroad is, I think anyone who's interested in buying an avatar is going to, the first thing they're going to hear about is Gumroad, because that is basically where all the avatar creators upload their avatars as bases or upload their avatars for purchase. Like it's genuinely like all of the avatars are on Gumroad. If they're not elsewhere. It's kind of just the thing that comes up.
Well,
and the thing about it is it's not about like finding the place where you purchase them. It's finding the person who makes them and finding out where.
That's another thing. It would make it way easier to actually contact some people, because you literally have to go, like right now, I guess you'd have to go to an avatar that you like. You'd have to look at who did it, and then you'd have to go to their profile and I guess friend them or direct message them, which is okay, but it doesn't feel very. It feels way too direct, in my opinion. It doesn't, like, it should feel more like you're contacting someone who like is selling something rather than contacting them personally. And I think it would be easy if there was some sort of like seller inbox or something, or like literally a commission inbox, because that way it seems
people just use Twitter for that though.
Again, another step though, like
all of these things are like, yeah, but it's like that step is
you can't deny that if it was integrated into VR, it wouldn't like boost how many people use it.
No, I think it would boost it like a little bit, but I feel like it's easier just to sort of get on VR chat desktop, look at the avatar you like, look at the avatar creator, and then find them on Twitter and message them. I mean,
yeah, I was gonna
there's
say,
nothing to be gained for paying for it.
Usually, avatar creators, especially if they have their own world for all their avatars, they will have their socials somewhere.
Yeah, they'll have their links.
Yeah,
I might be overestimating the power of children.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, we're assuming that the average VR chat player isn't your 10-year-old Skibidi Ohio Giat Res fucking normal elevator.
Your 10-year-olds.
All right,
but they're not going to be looking for avatars. They're just playing like
that's what I'm saying. So when we're referring to like the average VR chat user, we're talking to like-minded people. People who actually want to like who are using the platform. I guess for its purpose
like
and socializing.
Yeah.
And like having fun rather than just, oh, funny VR game I've seen on, YouTube.
I guess, yeah. Knowing that, counting out children in that section, I guess I would agree with you guys under that vise, but also knowing that I think it would be interesting if it was actually on that got added, see how it developed.
I think it'll be interesting, but I think it would be largely unused.
But that's just the avatar section though. What I was saying in general was just monetization, like adding things that people can buy in VR chat. I think that would like.
Yeah,
well, then you'd get into things like assets and prefabs.
Yeah.
But most of that has already been made by the community. And again, purchase them on Gumroad, add them to your world. You know,
I mean, like,
they didn't corner the market early
in
enough.
fucking in like Murder Mystery, if you subscribe to the Patreon of the person, you get a gold gun. You get the gold gun.
Yeah.
But if you're able to subscribe to them in
Nah.
VR chat, rather than having to go through Patreon, which would be better for the creators if it were a better cut, which presumably it would be, since they wouldn't have to use a third-party website, and it would be more favorable to creators on VR chat.
Yeah, I do also just want to say, because the VR chat does have their own like currency. So I'm just reading on the thing. It does say that you can browse the marketplace tab to find worlds and groups. If you enjoy a world and want to support its creator, you can subscribe by playing VR chat credits. As a reward, worlds can give you fancy cosmetics, special unlocks, access to groups, and more. So like they have like half implemented it, but they haven't sort of gone like, you know, if you want to buy an avatar, you need to pay the VR chat fucking coins, credits, whatever.
Yeah, they have
So
the VR chat plus as well, which is weird. What is that even?
I think the only way that they could implement what we're talking about, like, you know, like in a way that actually impacts their profits, would be they'd have to completely get rid of, like, okay, you're no longer allowed to upload avatars like for personal use unless you're selling them, unless you're a creator. You're not allowed to upload worlds.
yeah,
You
it
have
does
to
feel
buy
like there
them
had to
from
be a lot
us.
of like not like
Restriction.
yeah, or like they have to like oversee a lot and stuff has to get approved because people will
Yeah.
buy these avatars and then sell them. Or no, they could sell them for like, you know, like basically plagiarize it, or they could just give it away for free. And it's with like avatar cloning and stuff. I mean,
Avatar
I'd imagine
cloning would
for
be
paid,
gone.
yeah, I'd imagine for paid avatars, avatar cloning isn't available unless you've also
I
purchased
mean,
it.
most people have their avatar cloning off anyway. Fine.
I know, but I'm just saying,
Well,
people can turn it on and then people can share it around.
so the way it works is you've got publicly listed avatars and privately listed avatars. If you are an avatar creator, you can list it as either one of these. Privately listed means, at least as far as I've seen, I've tried testing this out with friends. Even if you've got your cloning on, they can't clone your avatar. It's private, and no one can put it up on, you know, one of those plaques, and no one can make it like an object that you can interact with and have that avatar.
Yeah, I think
If
it's
it's
only
privately
in your
listed. If
like
it's
avatar
public,
inventory thing.
It's only in. I have a little tab here, uploaded avatars.
Yeah, it should just say like your
It's
avatars.
only there. Yeah, but if it's public, it's just normal. It's just an average avatar. But you pick that. You choose whether or not it's public or private. I mean, I guess it would be a scummy way of monetizing it, but they could be like, oh, if you want to privately list your avatar, you've got to pay.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't agree that they'd have to. I don't agree that they'd have to go full takeover. I think they just have to make it a more direct and easier way of providing things that are already available. I don't know if I necessarily agree with my skin idea with the paid skins thing. I think Gumroad works well, but I at least agree with my idea that it would make it easier to, if there was like, if Gumroad and Patreon still existed, that'd be fine. But if there was like a in VR chat Patreon system, or if there was an in VR buy the skin, get the materials or whatever system, it would make it more direct.
I think it would work if, say, you had a menu, right, and you had a tab in the menu, and you would search by avatar creator, and there listed was all the models that they've made, and you can purchase it directly from the menu, and it would download the files to your, you know, like a folder on your computer. That would be good, you know, that would be nice and convenient. You just buy it through there. But the reason I don't think that would happen, or the reason I don't think that would be more favorable, is that if VR Chat's going to be taking a premium from this,
yeah, I was gonna say,
why not just sell it in another way? Why not
does Gumroad take any money? Does Gumroad have like a subscription service or like?
I don't think it's a lot.
I don't think it's a lot.
It's
and
like very low.
If it's
As long as VR Chat
it's
either
not that
matches that
much-
or does less, then it's not really a problem, is it?
if it does less, it's not going to be anything, because I'm assuming the fact that people don't just use Twitter and PayPal to sell avatars, and they use Gumroad, means it's basically negligible.
I mean, PayPal's not really a secure payment method for much of anything. People
it's
only
not,
tend to
but
use
for what you're using
people
it for,
only tend to use PayPal when they have to.
Oh, what the...
Yeah, I guess so. There's other payment methods that don't require you to like have a cut. you know.
Hmm.
So I'd say the fact that there is that means, you know, like direct bank transfers. I'd say the fact that
I
that they
think there's
don't
something
use
more to
that, they
direct
use
bank. I
Gumroad
don't think people
instead.
ever want to use direct bank
Yeah,
transfers for anything.
Yeah, but I think the fact that, you know, they don't use anything else, or they don't use other methods, and it's mainly that they use Gumroad, means that
Hmm.
the cut that Gumroad takes, if anything, is negligible to a point where they're willing to take it. It's probably like, you know, a couple cents, whereas that's not going to be very big money. You know, if VRChat comes in and does the exact same thing or less, then even if, you know, half the people use Gumroad now and half the people now use VRChat's system, it's just going to be less and less and less, and it's going to be totally nothing.
Well, I mean, I guess Gumroad could then undercut them, but there's still profits in mind.
Mm.
Like, it's
They
not
would
like they can
undercut
just keep
them.
going to zero. There has to be a cutoff at some point.
There would be a cutoff, but the cutoff, again, you get to like you'd get to a cent, and at that point, why are you even taking?
It would
cut
not.
If it's a cent.
There's also times where businesses could go lower to undercut each other, but profits are more in mind, so they just
Yeah.
both mutually keep it at a higher price, with one being cheaper, just being that's how it is. And I think that's more like what
Yeah.
would happen, because Gumroad doesn't just sell like avatars and stuff.
No, you know, obviously not.
So there's still a whole nother business
That's
there.
true. That's true. That is true.
So
It would get weird. I'd say it would get really weird.
it would definitely, I'm not saying that that's something they should do, but I'm just saying that this is something that could be considered if we're thinking about a difference between Resonite and VRChat, and thinking about different ways that the companies could react or improve. If for some reason Resonite got super popular, I do feel like this is something that VRChat would start considering.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to get to that point anytime soon.
How would
As long as VRChat stays on the ball and improves their platform.
forgive my ignorance, but I'm actually a little bit confused now. So if Resonite does become more popular in VRChat, how does, you know, I guess these theoretical changes of adding monetization help to make VRChat more popular?
Well, because it's
It
not
doesn't,
it's not
really.
monetization for VRChat, it's monetization for the creators and making it easier and more, like, it's making it easier to discover the creators, make it easier to buy stuff for them, and it makes it
So yeah,
like
so
most-
is it
So
that
there's no
these-
benefit to VRChat.
there is technically a benefit for VRChat, because they would get the cut that
What's-
would usually be taken
what's
by
the benefit?
Patreon or Gumroad, and also it would mean that more people would be willing to stick around with VRChat, because it means that they would have an easier way to monetize themselves.
It just seems
I don't know, like I feel like a lot of
another,
people wouldn't
yeah.
like that. A lot of like non-creators.
I mean, I don't see what the issue is with like having an inbuilt Patreon system.
Let's think about it like this. Okay, let's take Fortnite, right? Fortnite has this item shop, and you buy skins and assets and whatever. But let's say Fortnite suddenly decided, we're gonna let people upload your own skins, your own models and stuff that you can use in game, and we're not gonna charge for it because, like VRChat, you know, we're taking this I'm using it as an analogy for VRChat. VRChat does not take a cut for uploaded avatar. There is no cut, like there is no money involved. You can just upload them. I've uploaded 4 for free. And I can keep doing that as long as I have the storage on my computer. So they said, okay, you can upload your avatars for free. Suddenly, people are not using the avatars. People are not going to be buying the avatars or anything that's in the item shop unless there's a copyright on, you know, like the avatar. Like, you cannot make this, you cannot import this into it for free because, you know, you're taking a cut. But suddenly people are going to be going, okay, well, I can just make my own stuff and put it in for free, and it's more personal to me. It's, you know, it's something that I've made or that I've got someone else to make. It's more personal to me. I'm not going to use anything for the item shop. I don't want anything from the item shop anymore. Suddenly, profits go down because no one's buying anything from the item shop anymore. So Fortnite's like, oh, okay, well, we'll lower the prices, and so it makes it more like, you know, more favorable, you know, like it makes it more appealing. But now you've just lowered your profits.
But that's not really comparable to
Significantly.
VRChat, because there isn't a VRChat item shop.
Because VRChat's already, well, yeah. Well, there is kind of, yeah.
How so?
Well, you've got the currency, right? You can buy stuff with that currency.
Yeah, but it's not. It's
What-
not really. like
I don't think.
anything
Yes.
substantial. As far as I know, it's like the the emoji things. You can
It's
just
more like
upload
a-
images in that. Like that's the only thing I'm aware that it can really do.
Is it more like a it? Because to me, actually, you know what? The VR chat currency, it seems more like a. It seems more like a just like a donation thing.
Yeah, I
more
think
than
that
than
literally
a
is what it
buying.
is.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't help them at all.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, I
Weird.
was surprised when they like started laying people off heaps, because I never thought VRChat was this big company that had heaps of staff. I always thought it was like run by a couple people, or like an indie studio.
No, it's big. Cause I that's another thing though. VRChat takes cuts from events. Events is a really good way for VRChat to get money. Take like a Virality for instance. Do you guys know about Virality?
No,
I'm not
unaware.
aware, no.
It's like a furry convention, but it's hosted entirely in VR,
Mhm.
and VRChat works together with the organizers of Virality to do things like allocate more resources to hosting more people on worlds. I think during Virality, any world that was related to Virality or being like hosted by Virality was was moved up to 100 people max. So Virality was definitely absolutely paying VRChat to do all that admin stuff so that they could host it on their site. And it was a really big event, and there was a bunch of stuff that they had to bring in to make it work, because obviously, like, okay, who's gonna pay for a VRChat for a convention? Why not just go to one in real life? You know, what are you gonna do? Walk around and talk to people? But no, there was stuff that you could buy in VRChat. There was stuff that you could go talk to creators. You could do yada yada yada. But all of that had to be allowed and sort of organized in a way by VRChat so that Virality could host their event. And there's no way they weren't getting paid for it, you know?
Hmm.
So there's events. That's a good way for them to get money.
And that is also a place where they could add marketable skin. Nah, I mean, kind of, but
Yes.
I mean, event skins would be interesting.
And then they should add a battle pass. And
that would be kind of cool though, is if you
And
went
save
to
the world
Virality
mode.
and there were Virality themed skins that you could buy, or Virality merch or something.
I believe there was Virality based like cosmetic items that you would collect as you went through. You know, like sort of like a
Well,
I
yeah,
wanna
it
say
could be
treasure
like
hunt, but I can't
like
think of
do
the
you
right word.
remember like the Roblox egg hunts and stuff? Like you had like items that you could collect as like just collectibles.
Yeah, it was a bit like that.
So they could do like avatars like that, but you cannot clone them. Or you cannot like upload them onto a plaque. Whatsoever.
I feel like if someone went out of their way to buy an avatar, I don't think they'd want it to be cloned. I don't think it would become that big of an issue, even if you could. Or
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, because you're ignoring the fact that people don't just buy avatars. They buy them. They either commission an avatar personal to them, or they buy them and they retexture them. So it's not like you buy the avatar and you have the avatar. Because a million other people might have that avatar. You want that avatar so you can change it to be more personal to you.
Well, there was also that reminds me because there was a thing like somewhat recently. I forget. I don't know the VTuber's name, but there's a VTuber who has like they use a model for all their stuff, but like 3D model, and then recently they've had a lot of like merchandise made from that model, and I think like they had like a Nindroid coming out, but now the artists that have made that model have basically come out and said like we haven't I haven't been asked
Received any.
to do this. Like I have no say in this, and this has just been done without my permission.
Was the see the issue comes there? So what is the model? Is it like a character?
Yeah,
or
it's like a I
what is
don't
it?
know the fucking I don't know their name, but they're like a cat girl, and they like I think they're known for like breaking a lot of VR equipment because they like fall over a lot. I don't know their name, but
Was the character created by the artist?
the character was created by
Or-
so the character was created by an artist, and then another artist made that into a 3D model with the original artist's permission, and then this VTuber is using that model, and then is now
Is is the character and as the actual like the personality of the character, the design of the character.
So yeah,
Was that made by the artist or was that commissioned by the VTuber?
the VTuber has nothing to do with their origin. The VTuber just
Okay.
uses it,
Just uses
and
it.
and
Okay,
it
there
is
you
now
go. 'Cause if it
associated
gets to
with
the,
him.
yeah, because if it's that the artist created the character, then the artist should definitely be involved in anything monetary wise.
Yeah.
Because it's theirs.
Yeah, but both the
Yeah.
original character designer and the 3D modeler, to my understanding, have not been asked for any permission whatsoever
was the-
about
Mm.
merchandising.
Was the VR? Oh no, was the avatar purchased as a commercial use avatar, or was it just
No,
for personal use?
I do not believe so. I think, I mean,
Okay.
'cause I've like seen like very little of it, but from my understanding, Fillion, that's her name. That's the VTuber's name. But like
Hmm.
but like people like the artists have come out and said like, no, Good Smile Company is now making a Ninjoid from my design, from my model, and I've not been asked for
Hmm.
any permission.
And that's it. That's exactly it. It's their design. It's their model, which means it's their character idea. It's their intellectual property. It belongs to them.
Yeah.
They can allow people to use it, but if they want money for them to use it, that's entirely their
Yeah,
choice.
and
as
so
well.
I think if the VTuber did commission it or like buy it for commercial use, then the artist wouldn't be coming out and saying this stuff originally anyways.
Hmm.
So I guess we can make an assumption that the VTuber is just using the model for free and is now making profits
Yeah.
off of it, and so is their
Yeah.
agency.
So
or
wait, was
whatever.
it
I don't know
just
if they're
like a
an
random
agency.
model that they didn't even get commissioned?
I'm yeah. Well, that's what it sounds like.
Oh, that's bad.
So I mean, it's like
bad, yeah.
like if I'm using this model now, this Herrscher model, and then I want to make merchandise off of it. Chances are I don't. Well, actually, no. Hoyoverse does let you do that, but I can't say this is my original character. But Hoyoverse
'Cause
does
it's
allow
not.
you to. Hoyoverse does allow you to actually sell stuff with their characters. So
Yeah.
that's probably a bad example.
Even I was
So I
smart
guess,
enough to
like,
ask the
if
person if
I-
I could use it. Jesus Christ.
If I created a character that you used, I mean, this would never happen because we're friends. I'd just let you use it. But if I created a character and designed it, and then you used it for monetary purpose on like KitKast or something, for example, then I'd want money for that because that's my design. Right. Yeah.
I mean, I'd be sharing profits with kitkast with you guys anyway if we start making money.
Yeah.
No, that would, dude, guys, I've
Yeah.
got $2 for both of you. This is crazy.
I can buy
Really?
I can buy
You
like a
do?
key.
No, I don't have $2.
you?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's actually devastating.
funny
I was
how
kind of happy there.
I think I get more views in general on the KitKat channel than I do on my main channel, just simply because of how much we spam uploads technically, because every week is way more than
Yeah.
like every 2 or 3 months on my main. But
we're
I mean, that
filling
would
it
make
up.
sense.
I think it changed recently after the recent stuff, but at least before that I was getting generally more views on this channel than I was on my main. Which makes me shit. No, it doesn't. It does not fucking matter.
You're gonna cry. Is that what you're
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna piss my pants. Maybe shit and
You're
come.
gonna cry. You're gonna piss your pants. You
Whoa,
should
whoa,
come.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Like what? Like if we hold on. Let's let me have a look at the. Let me have a look at that. I guess VR Chat Plus is also like a.
That's
That's
that
a
one's
thing
weird.
that people like.
I don't think you get much for that. I
It's
think
weird. If you're actually, I'm not, this doesn't apply to any of us because we're not invested in VR Chat to the point where we spend a lot of time in it. We don't spend most of our day in it, right? But for people who do, and there are people out there who do, it's good for them because there's stuff like, okay, you can have 500 avatars instead of 50. And people will use that, and you can have custom yada yada yada, and people will use that.
it seems with the price
Stuff like
though,
that.
like respectfully, doesn't seem like it's worth it. It also seems like it's more of like a this is a donation type thing.
To you and me and Sam, doesn't seem like it's worth it. But I know like how I'd say the majority of my friend list has VR Chat Plus. I'm not even kidding.
I could like what you get here. I don't know if that's worth $10 a month. I just
Yeah, you definitely got enough.
Is it 10 NZ or is it 10 US?
10 US.
10 US?
Oh.
Yeah.
This shit is like, I'm sorry, this is not worth it. Like, just straight up, even if I played VR chat every day, this is like, these are like not even quality of life. These are just like general changes that don't even seem like that much. That's what I mean. That's why I'm saying this. Like, it seems more like a donation type thing rather than an actual worth it, you should buy type thing.
Yeah.
Like, get this, you'll get some stuff that
it doesn't seem worth it to you. It doesn't seem worth it to you, but again, plenty of people do.
I guess if I wanted the full experience, I'd get it. Like, if I was spending money on tracking custom models, custom animations, and all that shit, I don't want to say all that shit, but like, you know, I say that for everything, but like all that stuff. I guess, yeah, I probably would get it just because it's like, I got to get everything, you know. It's like, I got to literally like be the, you know, have full experience and stuff.
Again, I think the only way that the most effective way that VRChat could ever monetize their platform is to have stuff like premiums and subscriptions that have useful things. Like, you know how avatars have like audio link and stuff? Stuff to do with their OSC would have to be monetized. But I would say that you'd get a lot of people dropping off the platform at that point because it's just like, it's like Spotify Premium, you know?
I'm so sick of fucking subscription services, dude. I can't.
Yeah, I've gotten rid of all of mine.
But it seems to be the only way that you can make money now. It seems to be the only way that people think you can make money now, for some reason.
It's like,
it's not true.
Everything's just a subscription, and it's so. I think the thing I hate most about subscription services is you never own what you pay for. It's renting it. It's just perpetual rent. I would be fine with subscription services if pretty much all of them had some form of pay this much and you get it for free. Like, if you paid for a year's worth of Netflix and then got access to it or something like that, but then there's heaps of problems with that when it comes to stuff like getting extra content. You still get the extra content for free even though you haven't technically paid for it since ages ago. Like, it's so messy. I hate subscription services so much. Like, we need like actually pay for shit back. Like, I'm so just done with it.
I think subscription services work for things like Netflix and anything where they're constantly updating the content. So one-time purchase don't really work because you pay for a one-time purchase.
That's the problem though. That's the problem though. Is they don't work.
That bit works.
They don't work though.
No, that's where
they're losing money. They're losing money because
what would you rather? Would you rather pay $5 to watch a movie, or would you rather pay $15 to watch as many movies as you want? I think I do agree with Jibster. I think for something like Netflix, having a subscription for a whole bunch of content is like just better price-wise as well.
Here's the thing: is it makes
purchases.
sense. It makes sense for us because we're the consumers. Paying that much makes sense to us. But having that many TV shows in one place and then us paying such a small amount for it means that they are losing so much money and they're unable to properly pay the people.
We actually don't pay a small amount, and we pay every single month. And you imagine that if 1 million people pay $30 a month for 12 years, that's a lot of profit.
And still somehow
for a bunch of
Netflix
IPs
is losing money.
For a bunch.
Yeah,
still somehow Spotify's losing money. How are they doing
and they
it?
Have to add
but here's the
ads
thing.
Now.
Netflix could probably completely stop uploading new movies for at least, like 2 months at a time, right? Which means they don't have to pay for those, right? People are still keeping their subscriptions, still paying for nothing new, right? But there's no way, you cannot find me a single person on this earth that could watch the entirety of the content on Netflix as it is right now in 2 months.
It's fucking blown.
Find me that person, and I will eat my fucking hat.
I see your point. I see the point that you're making, and it's the idea that with enough people spending that much, multiple times over and over again, eventually they will make a profit. But the problem is that even if you paid for Netflix for like 2 years, that's still not worth the amount that you would be paying for the actual price of like even just the movies that you watch or the shows that you watch.
Yeah, but now you're moving into the consumer themselves, so that's a choice you have to make. If you decide that, I don't watch that many movies, maybe I'll watch one or two.
No. What I'm trying to say
every month. Well, then obviously I'm not going to buy Netflix.
What I'm trying to say is the movie, like, okay, how much does it cost to buy a movie on like fucking YouTube movies or whatever? It costs
it's
like
like
what
quite
movie? Are we talking
expensive.
Are we
It's
talking
quite
a recent
expensive.
movie, or are we talking an old
It's
movie?
like
I don't know.
15
Are we talking a recent
A
movie? or an
somewhat
old movie?
recent, somewhat popular movie that isn't bad or
Somewhat
generally good.
recent?
It'd be
I'd
like
say
$10,
about-
$15 or something.
I'd say about $15,
Yeah.
and you own that
because
indefinitely.
that is the price
Yep.
of the movie, right? So the reason
is
why
the price of
Netflix
the
is
movie,
such a
yes.
good price is because you're getting all of these movies and TV shows and stuff for such a small price. But the thing is, even on Netflix conception and Spotify's conception, they made it specifically so that it was way less than it should be, so that they could corner the market, so that they could get a whole bunch of people in. But they didn't think of what would happen
Yes.
when they actually needed to start putting a fair
Remember-
price. Realistically, Netflix should
remember
be like way
from-
more.
From Netflix's point of view, they get a premium on those purchases as well. If they're using those movies on their platform, they're not paying full price for each movie. They're getting a premium from the person who's selling it, because you're not selling directly to the consumer. You're selling to a provider, so they will be getting a premium on that. Especially with the whole, we're linked to Netflix.
Yeah,
now,
because it'll
where,
also be
you know,
licensing as
people-
well. Because that's
you,
why
you upload
stuff
your movie, right?
stops becoming available.
Or
Hmm.
you get your movie uploaded to Netflix, right? And suddenly it's broadcast to everyone who has it, right? So you're obviously going to be paying a lot less because you're like, this is, or you don't want to pay a lot less, but you're probably going to have to because Netflix is not going to buy it at full price. The flip side of that is the consumer. What does the consumer want? If you're a consumer who does watch a lot of movies, does watch a lot of TV shows, you buy Netflix. You subscribe, right?
Mm.
But it makes no sense for someone who would watch, like two movies every month or something like that to subscribe to Netflix. You'd be wasting
Yeah.
money. So I don't know how Netflix is losing money but I'm gonna put it down to poor management because there's no way.
The problem that I'm trying to say here is that if a movie is supposed to cost $15 for every time you watch it, then how does it make sense that
Yes.
there's so many movies on there and that they're only paying $50 to see everything? How is it that the companies that are making the movies, the film industry, is actually getting paid well? They're not.
Cool, 'cause-
Writers,
'cause
editors,
Netflix is
Well, now you're
directors
using
only
the
are
film
not getting
industry.
paid properly
people buying
because of
them, and
Netflix.
they can probably get licenses for multiple shows or movies at once in like a package. For
Literally,
cheaper.
the most recent writer strike
and you're
proved
ignoring
that they are not getting paying.
you're
They're not getting paid enough.
ignoring
Literally,
you're
that's what they
ignoring
were
the fact that
campaigning.
movies also I'm gonna speak purely from the big movies that everyone watches. You're ignoring the fact that they go to the cinema, and the profits they make, the bulk of the profits that they make overall, here's the amount they're given to make the movie. It's a lot. Here's the amount that they get
That is
when it's
incorrect.
broadcast when it's paid at a no, genuinely they make
I
if
mean,
it's a
that's why
good
they've got
movie,
The
the box
bulk,
it's a movie
office
that
the
everyone
bulk
like
of the
watches.
profits originally
Yes.
came from CD resales. Technically, it would
Okay,
be
well, we
similar
don't
to
use
the
CDs
amount
anymore.
that
Well,
would
yeah.
be in the cinema, but over time it would make more. The problem is Netflix has replaced CDs, and they're not paying nearly
Netflix
as
hasn't
much.
replaced
They've lost a
Do you
massive
know how long
profit.
Netflix has been around? Do you know how long Netflix has been around?
Yeah, they've been around since they were
Netflix did
sending out CDs. They did CDs,
Yeah,
and now they're not
Yeah,
charging.
they're
like,
basically
anything.
the same thing, just more convenient.
No, they're not. It costs way more to buy a CD back in the day than it does to get a subscription to Netflix, and you get way more for it. That's why it
Yes.
seems so good for a consumer, because it's like this great deal. It's like, wow, I get all of this stuff for such a small price comparatively to what like CDs would cost. But the problem is that is not paying them enough. That's not paying writers enough. That's not paying editors enough. That's not paying a bulk of the people who make the movies enough. Because to be fair,
Well, now you're getting into the industry. It's a
and that's what I've
completely
been
different
talking
topic.
about. That's why subscription services are bad, because they came in
Well,
and
that's not relevant then.
what? How is that not relevant?
It's not relevant. We're
Subscription
moving into
services
You're
are
a
talking
bad
about the
because they
industry.
are not-
So we already started on.
How is that not
So we're
bad?
starting on subscriptions involving Netflix,
because
and now you're talking about the
subscription services
industry. That's a
don't-
whole different beast.
Subscription services in the case of Netflix and in the case of all these providers who get people to upload to their platform and then people pay for the subscription to use that content or to access that content. We're not talking about we're talking about subscription services overall.
Yeah.
Right?
And in most
can
industries,
we agree that
whatever.
yes, but let me finish.
Fucking shaking right now.
In these cases with these specific subscription services, yes, there are people all across the board, from industry, from producer, from reseller, right? So yes, that's where it gets complex, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about subscription services broadly. And there's a lot of subscription services out there that are just like, think Clip Studio Paint, for example. It's a product. You don't have to subscribe to it if you have a computer, but if you have an iPad, you want to use it on your iPad, or you want to pay, or you want to get the updates, you subscribe to it. They're making money with their subscription service because it's their product. They're not buying it from someone else and paying them to use it. That's a good subscription service. It's not good for the consumer because, well, in the case of Clip Studio Paint, it's fucking expensive. But it's good for the provider.
Also,
which is Clip Studio Paint, which is their own product.
Mention something with going back to Netflix. They do also have a lot of like Netflix original stuff, so it's coming directly from
originals.
them and not a third party.
And if you look on there, at least I'd say 60% of Netflix is Netflix originals.
I do not get as many views as the popular stuff or the stuff made by other studios.
Yeah, but they're not spending so much money on licensing because so much of the platform is now just Netflix originals.
Yeah.
So what originally was paying licenses for, movies is now being replaced by Netflix originals.
And most of the stuff they're paying licenses for, I'd say, would probably be because all the newer stuff has Netflix involved in it, right? You got Netflix originals, a lot of the newer stuff. A lot of stuff they're paying the licenses for are probably like old movies, like Saving Private Ryan, yada yada yada. Old movies that cost so much less. It costs like $1.30 or $2 to rent. There's going to be a few new ones on there, but the chance that they're not Netflix originals is pretty low, and the chance that more than 20% of the platform is new stuff, also very low. Yeah,
and another thing is for something like Crunchyroll, it for these studios, they go, okay, we have a new anime, so we also want to air it to the Western audience. So we're gonna have a collaboration with, or we're gonna have a deal with Crunchyroll to then have, at the same time that it releases in Japan, we're going to have the fully subtitled version release on Crunchyroll at the exact same time. Have dealings with.
There's a lot of caveats.
What is this?
Wait, what are we discussing? Stuff like Anime Lab and Funimation are now just fucking non-existent.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about industry, yes, industry is not paid enough. But when it comes to subscription services, there's so many different types of them out there that
I don't think I've seen a subscription service
so
that I would rather be a like you said Clip Studio Paint. I would rather pay $100 to get Clip Studio Paint.
That's because you're the consumer, right? Yes, I don't. You know what? To be honest, I don't want to pay for any subscription services. I would rather all of my products be one-time purchases, but that's not sustainable for businesses. So,
how is it
not in the context of overall, it's not.
Well, no. So
it's not.
So if someone buys something once, so I mean, how am I? If I buy a fucking light bulb or something, eventually it's gonna run out, and I'm gonna have to buy another one. But if I buy a light bulb that lasts fucking infinite long amount of time.
If I buy a game,
I'm of the opinion
and it continuously gets updates, and I get them for free,
but that they're using subscription services as a way to make more money, not to have a
subscription services.
Yeah, because they'll have repeat customers.
Because that's why I hate fucking businesses. That's why I hate because they're always using this mentality of it's the number one idea, or the number one thing to do is make profit, is to make money, and I'm like, that is the entire concept
that's what I hate, though. I'm not gonna lie.
I understand that is what businesses are trying to do, but whatever happened to actually just making good products? Fuck Adobe. I hate Adobe so much. I hate Adobe.
But the product is judged by the consumer, not the company. The company makes the product, but you don't have to buy it. If you see enough worth in it that you buy it, then you buy it.
I think we've proven
that's where the quality comes in.
We've proven by a lot of people in this world that quality doesn't even fucking matter anymore, man. People are willing to do whatever they want.
Quality doesn't, no, because there's so much. The saturation of the market is such that so many things are of similar quality, and so many things that fit so many different niches, and so many people have different opinions on what's quality and what's not. So you know what? You just buy what you think is going to be good, and the business is doing what they can to make money, then hopefully they're going to make money for themselves, because if they're making money, they can keep sustaining the product that you enjoy.
Mm.
Right? And in some cases, it has to be a subscription service. Because what else is Spotify going to do? Oh, you pay for a premium account. Spotify now, okay, we've got... If 8 billion people in the world bought Spotify Premium, there's going to be a point in time where eventually they're going to stop making profit. It's going to stop. In fact, they're going to make... Let's say they all bought it at the same time. Boom. You made your big profit. You probably sell the company. But what's the other company going to do with their product? Everyone's already got Spotify Premium. Oh, I know. Let's cut off the Spotify Premium and make it a subscription. Because we've got to keep money in the future. What else are we going to sell on Spotify?
People
Nothing.
grow up.
There is nothing we can do here.
Life is
Ads.
a subscription service with new people. It's a rotating circle. People get old enough.
Those profits come... Yeah, but you're talking about generations now. You can't sustain
I'm not talking about
a
generations. I'm
business
talking year to year.
for years.
Every year, someone turns old enough and gets a phone and buys Spotify Premium.
I don't think I've bought
Every
Spotify
year.
Premium
Yes.
once.
I haven't bought it, no. You also, I guess there's other factors like piracy, which actually play a larger and larger factor each day as more people realize that, yes, you can just pirate stuff.
That's
and
why.
it's for
That's
free.
another reason why subscription services are bad. Is because they just pirate it. Just fucking pirate it.
Well,
Most
no,
of the
I
time.
think the pirating
Well,
was
why
only
would I
because
not
of
just
the
pirate?
subscription services, basically.
Yeah.
Or even just having to pay
Well-
for anything, not even necessarily subscription.
I think
services
generally it's getting
itself.
worse because of subscription services, and because of the,
Yeah, I do-
the general
I do agree with
mishandling
that.
of subscription services by companies that are running them.
I think in the case of some companies, them using subscription services is an obvious cop out. In the case of like, I'm gonna say Clip Studio Paint, just on the from the perspective of the consumer, because there's no way you're gonna get me to pay $100 a month just so I can use your app on my iPad. Okay, that's an absolute cop out. Update your thing, make me pay for big updates, whatever. I'm fine to do that. It's a professional product. But in the case of like Netflix and Spotify, there's gonna be, if you just make it a one-time purchase, it's gonna be really big periods of time where you're making no profit.
I disagree.
Big droughts. So keep it a low subscription service, and you're gonna get a consistent.
Yeah, because more people,
payment,
because you're gonna have
it's
repeat
consistent
customers.
profit.
That's the main point. Is that you're gonna have people
Yeah.
coming back to buy it again because it's a subscription, rather than someone paying $60 once. Why not have them pay $15 every month for the next year, 12 months? You're gonna make way more
Yeah.
money.
I get that. I agree that subscription services make more money, but I still think that they can make enough money by doing the actual way that people have been doing it for years.
They'll be cutting it close, and prices.
Yeah, and eventually
would be,
it will
I mean,
catch up anyways.
there's also the other thing is that like there's a lot of consumers out there who will see $15. That's cheap, and completely ignore the fact that like some people are dumb. Okay, some people are dumb. If you show them a $50 product and then show them the same product for $15 as a subscription, they're probably going to go, "Ooh, $15. I'll just pay that, and then I can get money." And then for some people, that's better for them as well, because it's like, well, I can't afford that,
Yeah.
so I'd rather just have it now and then pay for it every paycheck, stuff like that. So there's where subscription services also have their niche. It's so intricate, honestly. It's so complex. There is no right or wrong answer.
Well, I will forever hate subscription services because I would rather own what I pay for.
Yeah, but
And you're the
we're not-
consumer as well. I hate them
that's
too.
fine.
I hate yeah.
I mean,
I hate them
that
too.
is
As a
why I
consumer,
don't have any
I-
subscriptions active, and I haven't had any for about 2 years, because
I have,
I have ways to own the stuff. That's why that's the main reason why I have my 2 terabyte HDD, because that's where all the shit I'm not gonna say I pirated, but I have a lot of stuff in there that I haven't bought. We'll say. But I mean, I don't know if I should be saying this, but like Clip Studio Paint, I have not bought it. I even still have the correct install file. I'm going to buy it once I have enough money.
Yep.
Which is only like $60, but I'm saving for Japan, so that's not going to happen. But I've been using it.
I bought it.
Like
Hmm.
I own it. I don't get all the
Yeah.
features because I don't have an account, so I can't download brushes, from all
Assets.
models and stuff.
I can send you the files.
Well, yeah, I was
If you
trying
wanna-
to
if you
figure
wanna-
that out, but I don't think I can I can't quite just drag and drop it in though.
No, you can't. I'll show you how to do it. If the file setup is anyway the same, which it hopefully should be, then I'll show you how to do it.
Okay.
And I'll send you some brush files. But yeah,
But it-
Again, I don't think anyone's ever gonna like a subscription service.
Yeah.
But for some companies, it's the only way they're gonna make money. It's the only way they're gonna make profits.
Yeah, it's a
It's the only way
smart
they're gonna stay relevant.
it's a smart business
Yeah.
practice, but it's not like a very I'm not even necessarily like morally right, but not many people like it.
It's not very popular.
Yeah.
How many people enjoy the concept of a subscription? I don't like it. I don't like that I have to constantly monitor, what I'm paying each month. But if it keeps the company alive that I like the product that they make, well, I guess then I'll just subscribe.
Alright,
Because the other option is that company falters and they lose quality, and in the worst case they die, and suddenly I don't have that product anymore. But if that's how they want to sell it, if they want to sell it as a subscription, I guess I just gotta buy it.
we are at 1 hour 18 minutes.
We are.
Yeah,
So we
I
probably
did
should.
notice that.
We are.
Finish the podcast.
I'm
I'm going to title this episode something like we talked about like
beat up on
2
Alex.
things. We talked about
We're talking
I
about,
win.
like, the future
I
of
stand
VRChat
true
and
with my
its
ideas.
improvements.
I will not fold. Take advice from me.
You win, Alex.
I will accept criticism, but I stand true to my ideas.
That's
Which is
fair.
fine. I mean, we
Everyone's
we
allowed
never
their
said
opinion.
your ideas are inherently.
And I never said that you weren't
blatantly
you were
incorrect.
doing that. This is just a general statement.
And we all love each other, and we kiss each other goodnight every night.
Oh, that's
All right.
not true.
Bye bye.
My friendship is